Well, hello there, and welcome to our August episode of the DOS Way. I am your host, Lieutenant Governor and Secretary of State for the great state of New Jersey, Tahesha Way, and I am just so excited. I have today with me three phenomenal women, and I tell you, at the Department of State, we like to be ahead of things. I know this is our August episode, but we are so looking forward to Hispanic Heritage Month in September. So we just had to have you on today. And I am speaking with my friend Gladys. I'm also speaking with someone who I've gotten to know for the past 7.5 years. She rocks, Dr. Ivonne, and of course, Isabella. Now, today is all about my Department of State Center for Hispanic Policy, Research, and Development. And these three guests are going to lend their thoughts and their opinions about the full collaboration which CHPRD has going on throughout the state. Notably, and again, I'm going to bring my dear friend in here about this, Dr. Ivonne with HISPA. But first, let me start with Gladys, who works for our CHPRD. Can you give our listeners just a quick overview as to the good deeds that CHPRD does?
Yes, CHPRD was actually founded in 1975, originally to help New Jersey's underserved Hispanic community by providing funding for initiatives. And since then, we've evolved. We originally started in the Department of Community Affairs. We moved to the Department of State in 2010, and this has been our home for the last 15 years. As part of CHPRD, we fund grant programs, and we also participate in the New Jersey Governor's Hispanic Fellows Program. Every year, we are very lucky and fortunate to help host these wonderful fellows with HISPA now providing the leadership sessions.
Yeah, I tell you, Gladys, throughout my entire tenure as Secretary of State, one of the highlights, I must say, has been the fellows during the summer. Just meeting these young, inspirational, forward-thinking students and how they want to be our future leaders. So I really thank CHPRD on all that you do, Gladys, Giron-Ricci. But now you mentioned the Fellows Program. You do a great deal of work with HISPA. So Dr. Ivonne Díaz-Claisse, can you please describe and tell us what HISPA stands for and what great work you do?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be in this podcast. I'm also honored to represent over 3,000 individuals in the state that have said presente, that they have said yes to our invitation to be active role models for our youth, to step into classrooms, into university classrooms, to share their stories and showcase the pathway forward towards education and success. In addition to that, these individuals also open the doors of their organizations, corporations, to us to bring students so that they can see the future. They can see themselves into the lives of these professionals. Our partnership with CHPRD and the Department of State is truly something to be celebrated. It's an example of what can be accomplished when public and private sector come together for our youth. We focus on leadership development, but we also focus on community engagement. How do we get our community to join forces with government, with nonprofit, the private sector, and be present and supportive of the future of our country, our youth?
Yeah, I love that. Hearing it every single year, the presente, right? Yes. And you speak about the different entities that participate. Could you just go through the site selection program, and if one is listening, if they would want, to raise their hand and say, something, this sounds for the greater good, if you will, and we would want to participate?
Absolutely. So there is two components of the New Jersey Governor Hispanic Fellows Program. One component is the internships, and the internship sites are all managed and Logistics by CHPRD. HISPA manages the relationship with the corporations and entities that open the doors for the second component, which is the leadership development workshops.
Got it.
For the leadership development workshops, HISPA partners with organizations in the state where we can showcase careers in pharma, telecommunication industry, logistics and supply chain, and even utilities. So we bring the students in this amazing journey of careers in our state. And not only that, plenty of role models that show them that they too can be part of these industries.
Yes. And Gladys?
So I was going to say that every year in December, we actually put out an application for partner sites to host these interns. And, we receive a good number of them. We interview them, we talk to them if they're new, and we like to see what they're offering. And once they go through the process, we place them in our booklet of internship sites for the students to pick once they've been accepted into the internship program. We have our internship guidelines listed on our website.
Thank you for that. And now I want to turn to a recent 2025 Governor's Hispanic Fellow, Isabella Vargas. Okay, Isabella, please tell us about your experience, but also include why did you decide to participate as a fellow?
Of course. Hello. First of all, thank you for having me. It's super exciting to be here. And yes, I'm a recent graduate, actually graduated about 4 weeks ago.
All right.
And my experience was unique in the sense that my placement site that I was placed at to work from like 4 days a week, it was very hands-on. Our office had not that many staff, but that allowed me to pick up responsibilities that maybe a bigger corporation wouldn't have been able to give me. And my job was in adult protective services in Essex County.
Nice.
And as a rising sophomore, I haven't gotten hands-on experience at all until this opportunity that I was given. And the reason I applied for it in the first place, I'm the treasurer at my university, Middlesex College. We have a Latinx organization of unity. And my advisor actually knows an alumni from about 10 years ago. And she's always been just trying to get me out there, believing in me, passing opportunities my way. And I didn't honestly think I had a chance because I was a freshman. I'm one of the youngest in the fellowship program, actually. And she really is that type of role model that pushed me towards it and motivated me to apply. And then beyond that, on the interviews, there was a video session we had with, it was Maria, actually. And she just asked questions, and I liked her honesty and how she asked it and how we interacted. Wow. So she asked me, what makes a good leader, I remember. And I told
And what was your response?
My answer is that a good leader is a person who takes a moment to get to know their community, because a leader without knowing who they're leading is not as efficient. And I got to learn all about that this summer. So really excited. Yeah.
I love that. A good leader is someone who gets to know their community. And that's why, I take great pride in my portfolios. I have to say at the Department of State, CHPRD, you get to know, Gladys, you can, confirm this. You get to know the community, right? You get to hear them.
Yes.
And understand their needs in hopes of making it a better place for them. And I tell you, Isabella, you just reminded me, a good mentor. I know I had one in college, too, who somewhat rerouted me, if you will, and said, you know what, try law school. It might work out for you. And I think that the dean was right in suggesting that at this time. So I believe your mentor, I bring that up because I believe your mentor was right. So are you going to spread the word now about your fellowship?
Yeah, so now, funny enough, that same advisor is like parading me around the club, and she's like, guys, look at her, look what she did. It's possible for you too. And definitely part of the program is actually letting one other person know about it so that they can apply. And not only do I believe that CHPRD or HISPA does, advertisement, but it's also just word of mouth and, talking to trusted people who would excel in the program. So yeah, definitely a lot of people from the community college that I go to. That's another thing. I didn't believe that, big opportunities like this were available for people in a community college like me. But I was proved wrong time and time again this summer. So I can't wait to, tell someone else about it at school. So definitely, hopefully you guys will be seeing more people from Middlesex next summer.
That's right. And it's also the understanding that there's an alumni, right, network, right? And you're going to keep in contact with not only your fellows, I should say, but, those who have come before you, since the program has been going on for decades, correct, Gladys?
Yes, since the late 1980s.
I know I wasn't even born then. So, but getting back to you, Isabella, before I shift gears, just describe specifically, right? How has this program prepared you, right, for your future endeavors? I'm uncertain. Do you want to stay in this field where you were placed, or just give us some color on this?
So yes, actually I had a conversation with Maria again after I was in the program for a month already. And I was placed in social work, essentially, right? Adult protective services. And my major is criminal justice. So it was perfect. It aligned perfectly.
Yes.
And this is just an opportunity that, a lot of grad students also may wait on, and they might not get their hands on so quickly if they had not had an opportunity like this. So if I want to stay in the field 100%, I personally want to be an attorney, but learning the rules and regulations within Essex County and how to, put things in a database, it all works in the end. They all have, to do with each other. So I definitely want to stay in this field, and it helped me be more well connected in this field. I know a lot of people that I wouldn't have met otherwise if I stayed home for the summer. So
I love that for you. And not to go back to the mentoring advisor, just because you spoke about you want to be an attorney, I'm just going to say what my dean/mentor also mentioned to me, that going to law school, you can do so many things with a legal degree. Don't necessarily have to practice. So just keep that there. Now, CHPRD, again, is, a great entity within the Department of State. And I say this because there's such support via the different styles and types of grants, right, that are out there, Gladys. So do you want to speak on how that works, and if there are, outside of the fellows program, any initiatives or programs through grants that you would want to lift up at this time?
Yes. Well, every year we put out our grant application, and we offer several categories that different organizations can apply for. So that includes Hispanic entrepreneurship, citizen and immigration, and we also have workforce development, youth workforce investment, which also includes community service and health and wellness. And these are just things that, we encourage our grantees to apply for and to have other new organizations apply for. And every year we ask our grantees to apply for these programs.
So you spoke about health and wellness, right?
Yes.
So
correct.
what are you looking at in terms of health and wellness? I know that this month is National Peach Month, and I'm celebrating the fruit here. I'm dressed in a certain way, doctors, wellness, they all say we need our fruits and our vegetables. And I mentioned this because, I'm dressed a certain way because I'll be off to peach farm, if you will, in a few right after this, doing the wellness thing. So, I always say to those out there in the community when I see them, it's a good way, the apple picking, blueberries, strawberries. New Jersey is the Garden State. Peach picking, just so that you can be at one with nature, but at the same time, you're, consuming good foods, if you will, unless you're going to turn it into a peach pie or cobbler that I do. That's when it gets like kind of, but just making sure our kids recognize the wellness factor too. So I don't know what CHPRD is.
So we're specifically focusing on enhancing family wellness and mental health services.
Okay, love that.
Yeah, for example, we had a program. They provide services to the elderly, to bring them to their doctor appointments and to make sure that they're following up with their doctors. We also have a program that gives support to nursing mothers or expecting mothers, provides doula services. So that's the kind of thing that we support. For the
Wonderful.
Hispanic
And outside of the fellows, you two partner with HISPA, right? Dr. Ivonne, do you want to just give us an example?
Yeah, so we are a grantee of CHPRD in support of our role model program in Passaic Public Schools.
Oh.
So the HISPA role model program consists of 6 visits to the same group of students by the HISPA role models. These are, once again, leaders from industry, public and private sector that take time to step into a classroom to share their stories and really showcase the pathways to higher education and success. So it is an amazing partnership that have enabled HISPA to not only start our program in Passaic, but also it has helped us in having visibility in Passaic. So now the Department of Education in Passaic support us, and also other organizations allowing us to grow our impact in Passaic, not only to have the role models come into the classroom, but also invite the students to come to Montclair State University for a day of learning at a youth conference, or also bringing the students into the corporations for what we call Imagine Days, where the students gets to be in the corporation doing hands-on activities.
I love that. And it's Passaic City, right?
Yes, Passaic City.
Exactly. Yes. So, this discussion has been great. It's included the crucial resources, opportunities for growth and empowerment and leadership for the Hispanic community to thrive in our great state of New Jersey. I just want to ask one final question of each of you. If there's one thing that our listeners should take from this discussion, let us know. I'll start with you, Gladys.
Any student out there who wants to apply has to apply for this program. I got to see firsthand this summer the transformation that these students had. Some of them were shy. Some of them, needed a little help getting out of their shell. It was incredible seeing them just transform. And I know that they're going to be the future leaders in this state.
And where can they go?
They can go on our website, nj.gov/CHPRD.
Love it. Isabella?
One thing I would want the listeners to take away is that there are opportunities out there. You have to look hard enough and just know that you are worthy of being in any room that you're put in.
I love that.
Put in the hard work, and there are opportunities. You just have to be willing to put in the work. And that's what this program made me realize.
Thank you, Isabella and Dr. Ivonne.
Yeah, no, thank you. And from my side, I will say that the leadership development component of this program will allow you as a student, I'm speaking to the students that are listening to us, to meet and build relationship with over 100 leaders in the state. In just one summer, you're building your network. And we know the importance of having a network of support that can open doors for your future. So, obviously celebrating today with you the many students that have gone through this program, a full circle moment for us this summer. Not only more than once, we visited a corporation and the speaker was a fellow alumni. So because now they work in these corporations that they visited when they were part of the program. So that's something that definitely we need to celebrate. Thank you so much for this amazing collaboration. And let's continue. Let's do more.
And contact information.
And you can learn a lot more about HISPA, how to be a volunteer role model, how to connect with us in hispa.org. And Instagram, just HISPA team.
I just love this collaboration and leadership and, of course, inspiration. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. And I look forward, listeners, to coming back in September. Enjoy the remainder of what we got left for summer. Thank you.
Thank you so much.